We are live now.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hello guys, good morning. I hope you're doing great. As we all know, today we are going to be having we are going to be starting a series which will be on CV writing and cover letter. We are also subsequently going to go into application, addressing you on how to make applications international and national, how to apply for funds. And but we are beginning with this CV writing and cover letter. As we all know, it's a very integral part of our professional development to know how to write CVs and cover letters, as this is necessary for our 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 professional development and ability to acquire opportunities in various industries. As you all know, it's not about the skill you have, but how you can showcase those skill and how you can sell yourself out to the needed audience. So you're welcome, everybody. If you've not subscribed, please do well to click on hit the subscribe button there and hit the notification button so that if there's any release of any video, you will be the first to know about it. And anytime we decide to go live, I think you'll be one of our first participants. So today, actually, we are going to be having our national program coordinator, the head behind, or would I say the heart behind this movement, this Anatomy Triad Foundation, in person of Mr. Egumaitiu, soon to be Dr. Egumaitiu, for this series on mastering the art of writing CVs that get more jobs interviews. Yeah, I think I've been there. The situations where I decided to write a CV, and when I look back in 2 years of on the CVs that I've written before, I look at myself and I'll be like, can I hire myself with this kind of CV? I think we are privileged to have individuals who know the art of writing CVs, who know the art of applying to international and national opportunities. And you're going to be hearing from a genius today called Egumaitu. And I would want to welcome him on board. Yeah, Egumaitu is a versatile individual. He's an instructor, a lecturer, a graduate of human anatomy, and currently the head of Anatomy Triad Foundation is going to be sharing with us part of his wisdom on how to create and write CVs. He has gotten many opportunities, both nationals and internationals, due to his aptness to draft CVs and cover letters. And I hope that we will be able to gain from the wealth of his wisdom today. So it is my honor to welcome Mr. Egumaitiu on board to
Yeah, this, yeah.
tell us, to talk to us. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. I believe you all can hear me out there. All
Yes, we
right.
can.
I am. All right. I am Egu Matthew Fidelis, as he has already said, and I believe we'll be doing something very insightful. It concerns CV writing. We have been receiving a lot of complaints from students, not only from anatomy department, other areas of biomedicals as it concerns CV writing, even people from different departments, job seekers. You can also notice that many graduates don't even know what to write in their CVs. They find it very difficult to come up with something to write as it concerns their CV. They find it very difficult to come up with something to write as it concerns their CV. So that is why today we'll be doing a little training on CV writing. We're doing a little training on CV writing, and we are looking forward to you subscribing to the channel because apart from this training we are doing currently, subsequent one will be coming up. And today I would definitely love to be sharing my slide if network over here will definitely permit me to do so, because that is what is happening right now and I'm trying to share the slide, but our network system is delaying and making it look as if it won't be possible, but let's just pray it works out. So first of all, I will love to say a very big thank you to Gaba Olu Fumi. She is currently the person that is responsible for the good flow system we have today as it concerns this program. Yes, she is the person that is responsible for the good flow system we have today as it concerns the program. I know most of you will be thinking, how come it's a lady? Ladies are trying, they are doing their best to see that what we have in anatomy triad becomes very possible. Yes, becomes very possible. So she is the person that is very much involved as it concerns this program. She has really helped us with all the necessary materials needed as it concerns gadgets for the program. So Benga or like Gaba Olufemi Fumi, or I don't really get your name clearly. Thank you for the great opportunity you have given us through anatomy triad. To anatomy triad. All right, I'm still trying to see need to log in, but network has been very funny to upload my document for this training this morning. Okay, so this morning I'll be talking about CV writing and cover letter. So specifically to be on CV writing, so that is what we'll be doing today in Anatomy Triad Foundation. And then after that, subsequently, we will be doing some other trainings on research writing and subsequent training on how to use ECG for people who are in the biomedicals. All right, just give me a few minutes. Let me see if the internet now can allow me to upload this slide, and then we'll start. All right, I believe you all can see my screen. Mr. Obed, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
A participant from YouTube, if you can just see my screen, just help me to say, yes, we can see your screen, and then we proceed. Okay, so today we'll be talking about CV writing and cover letter. So writing CV that gets more job opportunity or more jobs interview is very necessary. You know, it's as if most people say if you want to strike a lady or you want to win the heart of a lady, it is by first impression. I think as it concerns job application, it concerns job application, and also as it concerns anything that has to do with winning the mind and heart of people out there. CV writing and cover letter is very, very paramount, because if you don't do it, you are not going to win the mind and the heart of the people you are writing to. You won't be able to win their mind. Just give me a few minutes. So for people that are to go through your applications, you easily get their heart, their mind, their whole body by your ability to write a very good structured CV, a very good structured CV. Time, then at the same time, your ability to come up with a cover letter that has everyone carried along. I pray this just work out well because network is really giving me headache over here. That's why you see me doing as if I am trying to do some form of repetition of what I am doing. So please, if you are still with us, just send us a message. Hi, you are still with us. And then from there, we will see need to proceed. All right. So I think we just have to start now. I believe the network is bad, and I'm still praying that everything works out fine because we're supposed to be presenting a clip here. Okay, so now it has come up. So we'll start as fast as possible to see it that everything is. So today we'll be talking more on CV writing and cover letter, writing CVs that get more job interviews, more job interviews. So at the end of this section, what we expect you to learn from this particular training is to be able to differentiate between what a cover letter is and a CV. It's also for you to understand how to create a CV and a cover letter. So by the end of this training today, you should be able to know which one is cover letter, and you also be able to know what is a CV. And you should, on your own, create a CV and a cover letter that will not just only end you by a rejection letter from the people you are applying to, but we give you a welcoming hand to now have a one-on-one interview with the organization or the company you are applying to. And then understanding how to send a CV and a cover letter is very, very important. You don't just send it anyhow. You package yourself very well. You know that packaging, in Nigeria, we like packaging. So you package yourself very well so that when you forward it, they will say, oh, this person is really serious. He meant business, not just sending it anyhow. There are ways to send CVs, not just anyhow. And then you also have to understand what hiring managers want from you on the course of this training. And then you understand how to demonstrate the characteristics that these hiring managers are seeking for. So that is what we believe at the end of this training you should be able to do on your own. And then from there, we'll have a lot of people having jobs and are doing very well. Our main focus in Anatomy Triad is raising young people who are not depressed because of employment crisis. People are depressed because after school they don't have job. Some of them end up committing suicide. People are talking about depression in different categories, but they don't even factor in educational depression. Most students have ended their life because of being depressed as a result of not being able to know what the future concerning job holds for them. Most graduates are also depressed, committing suicide because after school they don't have what to do. Most of them, because of rejection rates from establishment they have applied to for job, has even caused them to be very, very depressed. So we are taking our time in our foundation to see that we bring up people, train them, give them a positive mindset on how to go through all these things so that they won't just end their life because of the ability to secure a job. So that is what we are doing. So here is the learning objective as it concerns today's training on CV writing and cover letter. And then, so what is a CV? There are two keywords we normally come across from recruiters as it concerns CV or anything application. We normally come across the word resume and also we come across the word CV. So resume is just a 1 to 2 page document that contains information academically or work experience, work related skills, or your contact information, and also what a summary. So in a resume, it's just a 1 to 2 page document that we have information like that of your academic, information concerning your work experience, information concerning related skills to the work, your contact information, and a summary. It is mostly used for job applications. That is for resume. Resume is mostly used for job application. Then when we talk about a CV, which is an abbreviation for curriculum vitae, it contains fairly the same thing, but it can be more than 2 pages, and it is achievable based on the sense it contains research experience, publications, award, honors, and affiliation. So CV is mostly used for academics, education, and research position. So you easily use CV for academics, education, and research position because it is more than 2 pages in this area, and it has your experience based on research for people who are going to academics, publications you have done, awards you have received, honors, and affiliations. But for resume, it doesn't contain research experience, publications, award, honors, and affiliations. So resume is basically for applying for jobs that are not academically related or research related. If you look very well, you discover that the term CV is what is being used by the Europeans, and then the word resume is used in America. So that is why mostly if you come to an African setting, because we are being colonized by the European or the Britain, you will discover that we are doing things in accordance with their pattern. That though CV is for academic purposes, we tend to use it even when applying for jobs because it's what our colonial master instilled on us. It's their own terminologies as it concerns English. So CV has to do with academic applications where it will contain research experience, publications, award. But resume has to do with just normal job applications, not specifically for academic purpose. And CV is majorly used for people in Europe, while resume is used for people in America. So in case you're applying something for a country like America, you can just put resume because most of them are very conscious of the terms you are using. So that is the difference between a resume and a CV. Remember, resume is just maximum 2 pages that contains necessary information about yourself, that is your contact information, your academic experience or academic information, your work experience, related skills, and then other summaries. But a CV carries more than that. All right. So let's move to the next page. So difference between a CV and a resume. Just like we have already said, if you look at the content, these are what is expected to be in your CV content. The name, the contact information, the education, the work experience, relevant work-related skills, a summary of your academic background as well as teaching and research experience, your publication, presentations you have done, award, honors, affiliations, and other things like research interests. While for a resume, you can just have it maximum 2 pages. So in a resume, you are having your name, your contact information, your education, your work experience, the relevant work skills that is required, and then your focus is more on the work experience. And you list the work experience chronologically, meaning you don't start with the ones you have done. Maybe let's say, for instance, you started work in 2015. You don't start saying 2015, I work with this company, then 2016, before you now come to 2024. No, you start with the current year and do a descending order. So you are starting with 2024. If you're working with any company now and you are seeking to apply somewhere, you start with 2024. Then you now go down to 2023. You now go down to 20. So they can see your recent involvement, not starting from the older ones before going to the new one. So the purpose for this write-up, either the CV or the resume, just like we have already said that in Europe, in Middle East, and in Africa, we use CV. And then the employer expects a CV. But in the US, so you are looking forward to doing this based on scientific or educational write-up or applications. But for resume in the US, you are factoring it to be a job application. So for CV writing, it is more personal. You use it personally because you can use it for so many write-up promotions in academic environments. But a resume is more official because you are sending it for people to use in securing jobs for you out there. So now, what should be in your CV? What should be in your CV? As a person, what should be in your CV? So the first thing that will be in your CV is your personal details. Your personal details, I will soon give you a sample of a CV in this training so that you will come to see it yourself. So your personal details is the first thing that ought to be in your CV. So in your personal details, normally this will be your name, your address, and then your telephone and email contacts. So please, I want to highlight this, your name, boldly written, your address beneath the name, then your telephone number and email. For purpose of emphasis, when you are writing your name, just like the one I have here, Egu Matthew, sorry I didn't include this, down to the name, you are supposed to write your profession. Either you are a medical researcher, you can write bracket medical researcher and human anatomist, or bracket clinical embryologist and human anatomy, so that they can really know that, oh, this is what this guy has been doing. That will help them to say, oh, it's even his profession. For instance, you are applying for a research assistant or a genetics assistant for people who are going into genetics practicing. And you can write it research assistant, or you can write beneath it genetics assistant, meaning this is what you have been doing your whole life. This is your own profession. This is what you have been doing. So writing the title, for instance, we used to address doctor. Let's say I am doctor now. You can put Dr. Ebu Matthew, meaning they already know that, oh, this person is a doctor. So for people who are not doctors, who are not engineers, they don't have their professional title attached to their name in front. Beneath your name, you are to write what you have been practicing for the few years of your experience. That is what you do. Then thereafter, you write your address beneath it. Please, because of security reasons, we don't always put our house number in addresses of CVs. So you just write, okay, this is 30 FCT Lane, Abuja. Maybe I'm not even in Abuja. Maybe I'm not even in FCT Lane. But if I'm saying 30 FCT Lane, Abuja, my house address is not here. Maybe my house number is not here, but they know Matthew Eku is staying in 30 FCT Lane, Abuja, it's fine. So in case your CV falls in the wrong hand and they might look forward to kidnapping you, they can't really know exactly where you are staying for security purposes, because we are having conflicting issues that concern security globally, not only in Nigeria. So that is why you don't need to put your house number there. You can even see it down there where I specify that your house number shouldn't be included. And then you have your contacts, that is your phone number. For people who are applying outside the country, always remember to add your country 3-digit code so that you can be easily accessible. And then you must add your email address. You must add your email address. Most people will always advise you create a professional email address that has your name inside. Don't come and send an email address that is having crazyboy@gmail.com, crazywoman@gmail.com. That is already sending a bad information concerning your lifestyle. Most people will just put my lover@gmail.com, lover one. All those things are not acceptable. So if you have an email address that is bearing some kind of funny names, things that are not appealing to some person's ear, because the people who are into recruiting are psychologists. Majority of them are psychologists, and they have gone through trainings that will tailor their minds. So if they see most writing from you in your CV, they will say this person is not serious, and they might end up throwing your CV away. So this is the first thing you are to have in your CV: your name, your address, your phone number, and your email address. Date of birth is not necessary, as I've already put in it here, due to age discrimination. Please don't put your date of birth, because most persons, because you are growing old, there is something we call economics. Economics as it concerns the labor market. Economics means trying to see that somebody who is working for you is working in a healthy pattern. Their working doesn't stress them, doesn't destroy their head, so that they can still do better tomorrow. So for instance, if somebody is to carry this laptop and his or her weight cannot carry the laptop, economics principle will state that you employ two people so that they can join hands to carry the laptop, and then a single person will not have health challenges. But in Nigeria scenario, knowing fully well that if they employ an old person that cannot jack maybe a high volume of textbook, it will be causing them delay in processing what they want to process. And you put your age there, they might end up saying no to it. And they will like somebody who is young and can do the work very speedily. So putting your age is not necessary, putting your date of birth is not necessary, unless they demand for it. Unless they demand for it. All right, so the next slide, after you must have included your name, your contact details, the next thing is for you to put your education and qualification. Most people used to put career objective before this one, but majority of CV don't necessarily require you put in your career objective and all those things. Your experience will tell them, especially when there is a demand for cover letter. So in your educational qualification, your degree subjects and university, and then your A level for people who have secondary school certificate, and then you can mention grade unless they are poor. So for instance, now you don't have a good grade and you don't want them to discriminate you, you can just say, okay, let me just silence it. But if you know your grade is good, you can put it. So like you've seen this one I use as a demo, you can put University of Calabar, then BRC, Anatomical Sciences. If you have a good grade, you can put second class, first class upper, and the rest of that. Yeah, you put it in chronological order. If you are currently doing BSc and you are done with the BSc, don't put your secondary school first before you put your BSc below. No. the BSc will come first and then your secondary school come below it. But if it is someone who has MSc or PhD, those degrees you just acquired recently ought to come first before the ones you acquired before we proceed. So that is that for education and qualification. So you put the university name, what you were studying in school, and then the year you finish, and to the year you ended the program. Okay, so what should be in your CV, as you already said, the next one is after educational certifications or qualification is your work experience. Is your work experience. So your work experience is a vital part of the CV. It is very, very vital. It is very, very important. So it contains the name of the organization where you have worked, a short brief of what they do, how long you have worked there, and your key achievement while working there. And it should be from the most recent to the oldest, just like I've said before. And there is a way we write work experience. You write work experience using CAR model. We call it CAR model. Yes, we write it based on CAR model. So the C here is for context, the A here is for action, and then the arrow here is
So I hope you're really enjoying this the CV. I am already gathering amazing content. I mean, I'm already, already editing my CV here, listening to him mention all these tips. I think he had a little glitch. Let's just hold on a little. He will be joining us soon, in no time from now. So yeah, if you have any question, please just you can type it in the comment section. When he comes back, he'll be happy to answer all your questions. With the information kindly do all to reach out to them because they are going to be missing out on a lot of things, on a whole lot of things. So I would give us analogies where CVs did not really work out. Like, okay, yes, some persons even okay, I received requests to model some CVs from some individuals from the United Kingdom. They were there, but when they sent in their CV, I could imagine if they had any orientations about CV even before they left, because the CV they sent in was very rough. Like the arrangement was not. The first thing I told one of my team members was, "Does this? What is this like? What is this? I believe this is an opportunity for us to learn how to draft our CV. We would need it wherever we go. It's not just in Nigeria here that we need CV. We need CV all over the world. Um, it's an integral part of our professional lives, like I said earlier at the intro of the program. And I believe that there's a lot to gain from here. So just hold up a little as we wait for Mr. Matthew.
You're welcome back, Mr. Michael. Where is he? Okay. You're welcome back, Mr.
Apologies
Michael.
from my end. I had an issue with my network. So sorry.
That's all right. You can continue from there.
So sorry for that. Can you all still hear me out there?
Yeah, we can. We can.
So can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Sorry. All right. Okay. Sorry. It's just network issues. Network.
Yeah, I can go on well with you.
All right. Let me go back to the slide. Apologies from my end. All right. I believe you can see my slide.
Yes, we can.
All right. Great. So we stopped somewhere, and I pray that we get to read as fast as possible. Just give me a few minutes. Let's just keep going till we reach where. All right. I think we passed here. We also passed here. We passed here. We were here. I believe so. We passed it. And
Yeah,
then
we're here.
this is where we were. Is it we were or were we? All right. So yes, this is where we were, and it's about using the car model. We were trying to explain the car model. There are different models people use in writing things. I just want to throw more light. So people use car model in writing CV, especially in the work experience part. Why, when you are writing applications for scholarship, international proposals, you use what we refer to as star model. So there are different models. So for job, people who are seeking for job, you use car model, CAR. But when you are applying for scholarship, you use STAR. That is the situation on ground, the task that was needed, your action as at that point, and then the result for scholarship applications and other applications out there. But for job, people who are seeking for job, you normally use the CAM model, which is the context. The context here is the job you were working, the organization you were working with, the size of the organization, and then from what year to what year you work with that organization. So you can just say, for instance, I work with Anatomy Triad Foundation from 2021 to 2024. Then you can put the capacity of Anatomy Triad Foundation. Either we have 2,000 people, and then the location of Anatomy Triad Foundation. That is the context of the organization. Then, people like when they now finish writing the organization name, they'll just come down and put rows. They will say, I work this, I work here, I did this, I did that. In job interviews, or writing a CV, it is not by just mentioning the tasks you were given. Yes, we notice that maybe we give you, for instance, we gave you a task to generate student participation. You said I was given a task, I played the role of generating student participation. Okay, you played the role, which is the task on ground. And that was did you carry out the action? Okay, you carried out the action of generating student lead. How many students were you able to generate? That is the result we want to hear from you. So you can use action, what I said, on the account of working as, okay, I generated a student lead of 5,000 students in 1 week. So you've been able to specify how many students you generated and the duration in which you generated it. So the people hiring you will say, oh, he did this in just 1 week. Wow, this is interesting. Then let's hire him. So you don't just mention the role. You mention the role, which is the action you've carried out, and then the results. Do you have result in that particular role you function? For instance, you said you worked in a hospital as a research personnel. Okay, how many research were you able to carry out in 1 month? Okay, I researched on so and so paper, I published so and so paper. How many papers were you able to publish in 1 month, or in 2 months, or in 3 months? What is the impact of your paper? All those things are what you use in writing in your work experience. For people who, I always, okay, let me hammer on this work experience. For students, people who are still undergraduate, and they have not been working in the labor market, you have a work experience. Stop telling us you don't have work experience, because most of you will always come to me and say, this application, they are requesting for somebody with 2 years work experience, and I don't have anyone. You have plenty work experience. Number one, for people who do a course that is practically related, all those your time you spend in your laboratory to work on one specimen or the other, to do this or that, is called work experience. Your laboratory is a work environment. So in your work experience, you can mention your laboratory name and the name of your university as where you have volunteered, and that is a work experience. And another way of writing work experience is during the break section of your university period, where you go for holidays, you were not supposed to go home. You were supposed to volunteer in one establishment or the other. That will also add to your work experience. So, for instance, even if you volunteer in just 3 months, it's a work experience, and we don't look at it as 3 months. We are looking at it as you volunteered in different places. So you can see it that, oh, that is like 3 times. Maybe you volunteered this year, 2024. You volunteered 2023. You volunteered 2022 in different establishments. That automatically means you have worked in an environment that can scale you through that area. So that is that for the work experience. So I mentioned the action, so the context of the organization, the action, what you did. Okay, just like I said, you speak about what you did in past action word, enumerate. Numbers are great for detail, just like I've mentioned. And then, for example, you wrote 5 papers, you designed a sales plan, then the sales plan was able to gather so and so numbers of people. Your company had this and that. You did say delivery for so and so numbers of persons in just so and so time interval. And then the results makes your company to be visible, increase sales. Those are results you put. Increase participation, increase. So you must be specific of what you did, not beating around the bush or just naming the roles you were involved in. And then the next one here is the skill part of it. So in skills, we always have soft skills and then the hard skills. So these are competence that the individuals have acquired or developed from past experience. They can be soft or hard skills. That is, the hard skills are technical skills. Technical skill in the sense that these are things you do with your hands. You cannot say you know how to prepare slide. and then you go to the interview, then I give you a slide to prepare, and you don't know how to prepare it. So anything you can use your hand to do, practically related, is hard skills. While the soft skills are more or less like what you can use your intellect, computer, the ICT age to do. Microsoft Word, how you can maneuver that application, designing, CorelDRAW, Adobe, people who know how to do data analysis online, and all those kind of programming, all those things are skills. You and public speaking, writing, CV writing too, research writing, all these things are skills. And please, for purpose of emphasis, in writing your work experience, which we have already passed, you don't write the work experience that does not relate to the job you are applying for. Sorry, I didn't mention this from the beginning. Every job you are applying for need a new CV. I know this is disheartening. This is disheartening that most people use one CV for their whole lifetime. It's not true. If you are applying for a job, your ability to set up a new CV means you really know what the job is all about. So you read through the requirement of the job and then tailor a new CV that match the job you are applying for. Imagine maybe I'm applying for a regional sales officer of an organization, and I have worked throughout in educational setting. I've been teaching people. And then I'm now going to send a CV that contains me teaching people. What do you think they will be like? They'll be like, where is this one coming from? So when you are working on your CV, you look at what position you are applying for, what are their requirements, and then you now develop a new CV that has everything, your work experience, your terminologies channeled towards that particular application. So you can't use terms that you use in applying for medical job to apply for a business related job. So that should be taken into consideration. And also the skills you are putting in should also be a skill that is tallied to what is required in the job application. Because most persons have, I haven't mentioned this, there is an application that a software that people use in screening CVs. So if you send a CV that the keyword that was requested in the advertised bronchio is not there, the software rejects your application. So you should look for the key terms that were in the advertised bronchio and make sure that you identify one or two of those keywords in your CV. When those words are there, the software will just say, oh, those words are here because they are already key in those words that are required in the software. And it's also tailored to their advertised bronchio. So you should have those words in your CV. And if they just send it there, you can easily notice that you will be selected, and that will give you an opportunity to be in their list for interview. Then hobbies and interests. Some people will say, I like gisting. Some people will say, I like playing in your hobby. I love eating. My friend, be serious. Who wants you to go and be eating in their organization? Oh, they want you to be. Some people will say, I love sleeping. Right? Write a hobby that, okay, for instance, you're going into sales, you can write a hobby that I love making new friends. As a sales personnel, you know that making new friends is drawing new persons into buying a product. So I love making new friends. It's a hobby, which most people don't like putting in. So that will draw, this person can make new friends. So then if we bring into the system, that means he can gather more persons and the rest of that. And then for award, we've already said for CV, it's supposed to be for academic purpose, so you can put your award there. But as it concerns for job, you don't put it. All right, so this is a template of a CV. It's a template of a CV that I just got to show you. So you can see from the template, we have the contact information as it is written up here. Sorry, this person didn't include, I mentioned something earlier. After your name, you're supposed to include below it your profession. Either you're a human anatomist based on the job you're applying for, a research assistant beneath it. Then after that, you come to education. Look at the education like the person put it here, your university, then maybe the location of the university, your CGPA. Some persons can even put the award that you were given in the university during your university period. You can put the award beneath it, and then from what year to what year you went to school can also be included. And then after that, you now come to your work experience. If you look at how this work experience was tailored, it was tailored on the basis of the car model, that is the context of the organization. Then this is the year the person worked with, then the action that was carried out, and then the result obtained. Then if you go down, you will be able to see leadership experience, which is also very necessary. Leadership experience, because majority of companies are looking for somebody who is a leader. So you also mention your leadership experience. This is one major area people don't put in CV. Thinking is unnecessary. If you're not a leader, then what have you been doing? You must have been leading people, and this is very necessary for job application. Then this is the skills area, and then the last one here, which talks about your interests or hobbies. So you can look at it very well. And then also, there's another thing people always add. People always add referees. So most of the time, you add referees to make the CV automatic. Let me just say authentic, not automatic, authentic. So that when people go through it, you can say, oh, he has people that can vouch for him. If I call them, they can really say it's true. So beneath this, you can put referees, which means people that they can reach out to. You write the name of the person, the contact address of the person, not exactly the house number, so that they will not go and kidnap the person, and then the person's phone number, and then the position of the person, what the person is currently doing. You write it down beneath these hobbies. But in most cases, it's not necessary. But in most cases, it's also necessary because the organization demands for it. And sometimes they also ask you for biodata. So you can also write the biodata beneath this one before the referee. So the referee or the biodata can be the last thing to have in this write-up. The last thing to have in this write-up. And in your biodata, don't put your age if age is not required. Most of the time, we don't put biodata because discrimination is everywhere. Some persons might not like somebody who is from Cross River and they are working in that place. Some person hates some people because of where they are coming from. So putting it there might give a negative rule for you. So not putting it is safer. But if you notice that the establishment requires that you push it, you can easily key it in. And then, so what sets your CVs apart? This area, people don't take it into consideration. They will just write CV and go, but that's not true. So the appearance of your CV is what sets your CV apart. How the CV looks like. Your CV should be clearly and carefully laid out, not too cramped. It should be readers friendly. Don't need to just pack everything and jump at it so that it will enter the one page or two pages. Make it look neat. It should be clear. And then separate headings from body. For instance, you are writing work experience. You are now listing down the companies beneath it. Always make the headings to be bold or italicized to differentiate it from others. And then, yes, always make it bold and differentiate it from others. And then do not print back to back. Back to back in the sense that you just want to jam pack everything to make sure that these people they have everything needed. No, 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 no. Your appearance matters. It must be clearly stated out. Then avoid spelling errors because you notice that job, you've seen an opportunity you've been looking for. Maybe I want to become a lecturer and now say anatomy graduate assistant and now rush, gada, and apply for it. Sent my CV, I've written the CV and I didn't take time to go through the CV over and over so as to check whether there are things I spelled correctly or not, and I forwarded it. spelling errors are detected in CV, and they will take it that this person is not serious as it concerns CV writing. He's just rushing. And if they entrust some things to you, you might end up not being able to handle it amicably. So you should avoid spelling errors. Then conciseness, just like I told you before, that you should not pack everything into your CV. It should be concise. Make sure you select experiences you have worked towards areas. Okay, you are applying for a job. Make sure that your experience that you are using for your CV should be the one that aligns with the job, not something outside the job. If they ask you, what about this career gap? Tell them the career gap that is there was not for the job. That is why your CV is tailored towards. Okay, for instance, I want to work in academics. Maybe I lectured in 2021. I did not lecture in 2022, but I also lectured in 2023. And then in 2022, I worked somewhere else. I should not put 2022 there. If they ask me why, you would just be bold enough to tell them this doesn't match the job experience. That was why it wasn't included in the CV. It is because you ought to put what is relevant to what you're applying for. So it should be concise. And that is how you tailor your CV towards just 2 pages. Some of you will say, I have worked in 10 different places. My friend, sit up. Your 10 different places doesn't mean you put all of them. Say, I have experience everywhere. Your experience, there are some that are not necessary for the job you are applying for. So you take them out and build up a CV to be concise. Be positive. Yeah, be positive. Don't go there and begin to fall our hands. Even in your write-up, they will know that this person is serious. You should be positive in confirming how you've achieved something. State it with all manner of boldness. I achieved this. Don't come and write, I tried, I was a part. You don't want to, you collectively achieved it. Don't say, I was a part, I tried. It doesn't work. You should be involved fully. You should be involved. And the other one is be honest. Everything about your CV should be something that is honest, because you are putting a wrong date of birth or a wrong thing in your CV. Maybe the persons will go to your social media and verify and understand, oh, this person is not true. This person is really different thing entirely. So honesty is very necessary in your CV. All right, let's go to the next slide. So the do's and don'ts of CV writing, we'll just rush through it as it concerns this thing. So just like I said, you must be consistent with your format. The format you're using to write must be consistent. Don't now write something with capital letters. You mix it up with small letters. If you are bolding headings, make sure the headings are being bold. Anything you are doing should be consistent. If you are using bullets, the bullets must indicate that, oh, all bullets should be assigned and consistent throughout. You are using a check bullet, a star bullet, you should use it throughout. Don't use a check bullet here and then the next paragraph you are using, or the next chapter, or the next page you are using different bullets. No. And then also, yes, you should proofread your work as you've already said. Then educational category should be the first, just as we have said. These are all what we have said. You must use as passion word. Include the experience throughout your career, yes. And then you should use bullets. And then you should always quantify your results, just as we have said. Include your leadership training, significant academic experience. So what you don't do in your CV is elaborate design on your CV. You know, some people will put their pictures in their CV. Some people will use colors. You put your address with red color. You put the background with blue color. All those designs are not necessary in your CV. So it should just be simple. Avoid typographical errors, as we have already mentioned. Don't put plenty of information. Be concise. And then your font size should be taken care of. You don't put a font size that is 10 in your CV. It should be something that somebody can see, visible for people to go through. And then remember that your recruiters, there are hundreds of people who are already applying for the same job, and they don't have time to begin to read or go through your paper because you want to put everything. So be concise. All right, so that is that for that, and then we're now going to cover letter. So just like I said, cover letter, the CV carries other information, but your cover letter now explain to them more and more. So let's just get straight. A cover letter is a letter that you send to a company, accompany your CV when you apply for a job, whether advertised or when you are sending an unsolicited application. So when you are sending an application, you should always have a cover letter attached to it. It is a letter of introduction that highlights your key accomplishments and fits for a job opening. Do not overlook this tool, that is the cover letter tool, because it is of great asset to the job hunt you are doing. It offers a chance to explain your particular interest in the job or as it concerns what you're applying for. So each cover letter must be tailored to each job, each employer. So just like I've already mentioned, everything is always new. If you're applying for something new, your cover letter should also be new. So it's as if you want to meet a girl and propose to a lady, you need to package yourself now. That's your first appearance. So that the girl will begin to fall in love with you. Don't come and look at me bad eye and say this brother. So you package yourself very well. And then when you package yourself, that your first impression is your cover letter. You don't want to fall your girlfriend's hands, right? Or you don't want to go and meet her disappointed and the rest of that. So how you package yourself is the cover letter. Telling them you have done this, you have done this, you've done this. That sets you very high compared to other applicants. This is where you bombard everybody to tell them that you can do it before they even open your CV. So this is like your first appearance to them. All right. So, and then why is it important? I think I've almost said that already. It explains things that your CV can't. Yes. Okay, you said you work in an organization and you just put just few words, but in the cover letter, it should be something you now go details, picking 3 to 4 experience that hammers in that work very well. All right, so let's keep moving. And then the next one, the tips for writing cover letter. Each cover letter must be tailored. We have already mentioned that one. Whenever possible, address your cover letter to the named individual. Yes, when you're applying for a job, please still need to go and browse the human resource personnel of that company or the person that advertised for the job so that you can add their name. Addressing them with their name makes them feel, oh, this person already knows us. And this is very serious. So you should address them with their name, put dear so and so person. But in case you don't know the person's name, you can just put dear HR or human resource personnel. Just as you said, you highlight your 3 to 4 key accomplishments or skills or experience. Just 3 to 4, they do not say everything. Write it very concise, very compelling that the person will say, wow, this is really true. The person really needs this job. 3 to 4 experience. And then avoid spelling typographic errors. Focus on the fit between your qualification and the job requirement. Yes, focus on what the job is requiring. Yes, so what the job requires, don't be negative about it. And then when you're writing a cover letter, always end it by requesting an interview. You end it by requesting for an interview. You end it by requesting for an interview. So your cover letter should not be more than 1 page. It shouldn't be more than 1 page. As we will be going, I will open up something to you that people do as it concerns cover letter writing. So this is another template or sample of cover letter. You can see this is the person's name or address, and the person use dear Mr. Ajayi or whatsoever, which is the name of the person's listing. And then if you look at it, who the person is the first one. It's introducing who he is, and then what he is applying for, and why he's applying for that thing, and why the company. So you have like 4W, the who, which is who you are, what you are applying for, why you are applying for that thing, and why you choose that organization or that particular job or that particular establishment. So why you are applying it is also going to talk about your past experience and what you can do as it concerns that particular job you are applying for, what sets you apart. Then at the end of it, you now put the requirements. Sorry, you will now put a compelling statement requiring them that they should call you for an interview, or you making yourself available for interview with them. So that is a sample: who first, what you are applying for second, why you are applying for it, and why you are the best candidate for them, and then why them, and then the last one should be you asking them to for a platform for them to discuss more with you, which is an interview, and then the thanks or conclusion aspect, which is thanking them, and then your name and your contact details. So this is a sample for it. And then the next one is how to send your CV and cover letter via soft copy. Now, most persons have been missing it in this one, and it concerns how to send it. I think I have also made a mistake in this area. when I started my first job application, I made a mistake. It was a sending it through an email, not hard copy. So I made a mistake, and I now learned as I keep growing. When they're asking you for cover letter through soft copy application or using an email, the mistake most people do is you now type the cover letter separately in a PDF file, and you now type your CV separately in a PDF file, and you upload the PDF file, two of them together. So, and you now begin to write before you now add them. No, when you are applying for something that needs an email, the cover letter becomes the body of your email. So you just write it well in Microsoft Word, you copy it and now paste in your email body part. That serves as your cover letter, and then the CV can then be attached. You don't write cover letter separately, CV letter separately, and you now attach them if it is emailing them. But if it is something you go for hard copy, you can write them separately, and then the cover letter is always first before the CV. So you write the cover letter up, and then you attach it to the CV, which is done. But if it is something you are submitting through an email, the cover letter should not be in an attached format. It should be open, pasted on, because as the person is reading, that is the first thing the person is supposed to see, just as we have said, as if first impression. So that is how it is. So let me just say, I say soft copy means you are sending the CV and cover letter via an email on an application system. For soft copy, attach the CV as a document and type the cover letter as the body of your email. You can see as I've make it to be bold so that you won't say I didn't tell you. I did a mistake too. This is to serve as an introduction and inform the hiring manager what the attachment is. After writing the cover letter, you can now inform the hiring manager that the attached one here is on your CV. If email did not specify who to address the email to, just address it towards the hiring manager or hiring manager resource and the rest of that. So that is that for that one. I think yes, we have ended that. So if you wanna have any questions as it concerns this presentation this morning, I will be very happy to welcome your questions, and we will see it on how to tackle it. So once again, sorry I didn't thank my people who were just battling with internet. That was why I was unable to thank my organizers of this event. I am very grateful to the Anatomy Triad Foundation in the person of my international coordinator, Mr. Aposhi Obed. He has been up and doing as it concerns this foundation, and also most of my mentors in the same foundation and co-workers that are not here. Our media coordinator in the person of Idris. Every graphic design you see in Anatomy Triad Foundation is the handwork of our media coordinator, Mr. Idris. He's doing very well. Then also our grant coordinator, Kalak Botangod, who is not here, and our collaborating agent or coordinator, Mr. Olumide, in charge of Mide's Medical. If you're looking for Mide's Medical, where you can get your pharmaceutical whatsoever in Nigeria, you look for Mide's Medical. He's an anatomist, and all of us are anatomists, and we are seeing it to do this. We are not doing this for only people from anatomy department. We are doing it for people who are out there, who are studying professions or courses that are not that professional, and they are finding it very difficult to have access to job opportunities out there, to have the mindset of being problem solver. That is what we are out here, bridging the gap of careers in the basis of undergraduate, graduate with their professionals and academia, so that people can be free from this whole job thing, depression, and being able to solve issues concerning after education effects. That is why we are here for you. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and then ask us. We'll be doing trainings here also so that you will know your body part. Most people go to the hospital, they don't know what the doctor is telling them. They come back, they get, because I know it's not only academians that are here, people from villages are also following us. I know of uncles that have been calling me, "That your program, can you teach us this? Can you teach us this?" So we'll be more open to the whole world, not restricting it to people. So you will come here and learn a lot. If you are not learning, you can pass it to somebody who is also learning. You can exchange. You need to subscribe to this program so that we'll be bringing this to you up and up. So now the floor is open. If you have a question, you can ask, and then we still need to close this section. I think we've already used 1 hour of our time. So thank you very much. And to the last person, thank you, Gaba Olua, for me for everything. Thank you, thank you. Thank you out there, our participants. Thank you. So any question? Mr. Obed, I think I will be
Yeah,
looking forward to it.
you've done amazingly well. We sincerely appreciate you taking our time to open our eyes to this amazing insight. There are a lot of things I learned, especially as it entails writing a CV and mocking up your cover letter. I must admit I've made a lot of mistakes and I've learned from it. Although I wanted to ask a question personally before, yeah, they will be typing their questions now, and as they do, I'll be sharing. Um, the concern of the UK and the US, I think one of the countries permit adding your picture to the CV and the other does not permit. Could you throw more light on that?
Okay, I think on the basis of writing CV, if you're writing a CV outside Nigeria, majority of them have a CV format you follow. Yes, majority of them have a CV format you follow. Like people in UK, they have a different format. People in US, they also have a different format, just like they use CV and resume for the US use the word CV, sorry, use the word resume for their own application, while UK use the word CV. So if you are applying for countries that are looking forward to you, I think majority of UK applicants add their pictures to it. Yes, they add their pictures to it. So if you're applying for something of that nature, you don't use Nigerian format. Always go online and Google the format of the country you are applying for. So this is just like a model, but you should Google out the format of the country you are applying for. They will show you the format of their CV. And sometimes they are applying for their job, like all these NGOs, like let's say United Nations Aid or US Aid. They have a CV format in that job application. So they will ask you to click to tailor your CV to the CV format of the USA. I've applied some things that there's an attached CV format. So you will now have to click on it, download it to see the format that they want you to use for your CV. Because why they're requesting for that is they are using a software to edit your CV. So they will not want your CV to come outside the pattern in which their software is admitted. If not, it will be easily rejected. So you must pay attention to it There is an attached format. If there is no attached format, you should also Google to still need to know what you're applying for, the pattern of their CV in that country, or you can network with people of those countries to ask out questions as it concerns how their CV format is. Or if possible, the same job they are applying for, go to LinkedIn and inquire for somebody who has that experience, connect with the person and ask the person for a guide concerning that particular word, CV write-up. That will be of better advantage. But for this, it's more or less like a general template for everything. But individual country differences varies. I think that is that. Thank you very much. If I have been able to address it.
Yeah, you did very well. Thank you very much. I think as of now, there are no questions in the group. Um, okay, there are no questions in the group as of now. But you
Okay.
can, if you are, as you watch the video, you can anytime drop your questions in the comment section, and then we'll be happy to address them. If yeah, Mr. Mighty will be happy to address them, or myself, or any other official from the Anatomy Triad Foundation.
Yes, definitely. If there is any question coming up, we will definitely see need to address it. We are not always sleeping, we're always awake, seeing students and people out there so that we address it. All right.
Definitely.
So, are we bringing this to a close today?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So, since we will be bringing this to a close, definitely we will see. I don't know for you people in this country. Eh? Subscription is not to pay. Subscription is not to pay money. Subscription means click the subscription button. Only click it. It's not as if we are telling you we will subsidize, okay, add subsidy to it. No. Subscription is not to add subsidy. It means click the subscription what button. It doesn't take 1 naira from your account. It doesn't
Yeah,
charge you. Just click it, and then what it means is anytime we are organizing any event or doing anything, you will get a notification that, oh, these people you once attended their event, they are doing another event. So please, if you would like it, still need to open it. That's it, just it. But some of you that say, your village people are holding your hand. Please, if you want us to keep doing this and be smiling, just click the subscription what button,
yeah,
comment, encourage us. Encouragement no be to pay money, na to just use your mouth or your hand type something say you guys are trying. If we are not trying, type it. I like criticism so that I will see what to work on. Don't keep
yeah,
quiet and let us die in silence. Open up, tell us what is your challenge, how you want us to do it, what you think is better. We will definitely do that, and then we will all grow. We want a better system. This is going globally, so it's not restricted to Nigeria. Forwarding to people out there. A lot of people have come to me asking for CV, not people from anatomy. People are even begging that we change the name. I told them the name anatomy doesn't mean it's for anatomy people. Anatomy means structure. Everything in life has structure. Everything, whether you are doing law department has a structure. It has a foundation guiding them. So it is not restricted to medical school. It is open for everybody. You can come in here and learn. Education is not a thing of restriction. You can learn from anywhere. You can even grow and say you want to leave your profession and come and do medical courses. You see, it will help you. So still need to subscribe. Definitely, we will be looking out for more trainings and more trainings and more exciting programs, scholarship opportunities, and the rest of that, and that, and that. So thank you very much for today, for being our amazing audience. Share the link for people to subscribe. Ask your children, ask your brothers, ask your friends, everybody to follow us. And the Lord will bless you richly. Yeah, we are all pastors, if you don't know. We speak for Jesus too. All right, so thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, Mr. Obed, I think as for me and my household, we will still need to go serve the Lord here and then say a
Thank
very big thank you
you, listen, and then
for.
please, like you said, and then share. If you have any question, anything you wanted to discuss, just type it in the comments or just reach out to us personally, and we'll see you to do so. Thank you and welcome. And have a very
Yeah,
wonderful.
I think you can write to our email too. Yes, you
Yeah,
can
no,
write to our email. Yes,
no.
I think you can write to our email, anatomy triad@gmail.com, and
Bye
then that is that. If you still like what we are doing, you can still message us